Hey everybody, welcome back to our weekly HDI Local Chapters live stream show. Before we get started, let's talk about our sponsor, Robert Half. Robert Half is basically a talent solutions provider that help you find and keep talent in your company. They do a lot of different things, but specifically in our case, technology, right? They help you find and place professional IT people with the best skills in the world for your organization, right? But that's not all they do. They have a lot of cool information out on their website at roberthalf.com/technology, where you can find things like career advice, interviewing advice, what employers should and shouldn't do to retain and attract talent. They also have their salary guide, which benefits not only people looking for a job, but also employers, so you know what the market is asking for in your area. And it is specific to your city, your location. It's not just a generic one nationwide. They have it broken down by where your city falls within the economic things that dictate employment, salary, and things like that. All right, so let's, without further ado, let's get started with the show. Our guest tonight is Drew Mclaughlin. I say tonight, but really it's not night for everybody, but we'll go with that, right? So Drew is a service center specialist for Northwestern Mutual in Wisconsin. He started his career there in late 2019 as a phone support technician. We got to talk about that. I was one of those. I love that. After graduating from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee with a bachelor's in information science and technology. And after a few months of being a phone technician, he also became HDI certified, and expressing interest in the walk-up team, Drew became a full-time walk-up technician in 2020 prior to COVID, which does make sense, right? Because it's prior to COVID. But Drew, Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So let's start off by, why did you get into IT? Like, how'd you get in and why? Why this field?
No, it's awesome. Growing up, I definitely was drawn to technology, starting with movies as a kid, everything like that. And then slowly growing into gaming and building my own personal computers. And it was just something I was always drawn to. So I didn't know exactly whether, you have, software engineering, coding and everything on one hand. And on the other side, I was always kind of drawn to the service industry. And so I was like, let's commit to one path versus the other, but not exactly tunneling into coding per se. I was like, I like technology, but I don't know exactly what I want to do. So luckily I found a program that kind of allowed me to kind of get all the bits and pieces from all the different facets of tech. And then I ended up finding a service support job at Northwestern, and it was awesome. It just kind of checked all the boxes for me, and I've been there quite a while now and
nice.
Just loving it.
It's funny you say that, because nothing against coding and programming. I had the same dilemma when I was your age, when I was in, I was out of high school. And actually for me, I went to business school for accounting and went, accounting's not for me. No, I'm not for accounting, more like it. Right. Yeah. And then I decided, I went into, and when I went in, it was very newish, where everybody was going into coding, and I wouldn't feel bad if I did do that, but I'm glad I got into the support side of it as well. Yeah, so you started off as a phone tech. That's awesome, because that's kind of how I got into the real tech side. I started off in print room, and that really wasn't as glamorous as it may sound, but it was cool. It helped me get through college, and then I became a phone, I think we call it telecommunication technician. But I got to ask you, so we like to share with this audience, different aspects of IT, not just professional gaming and professional YouTubing, or Twitching in our case, because we're Twitching now, right? But what is a walk-up technician? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, definitely. It's the next level that you can take from just, being remote support, right? Not just offering singular phone support. Northwestern like to take the approach of a more personal interaction of, like, say you go into the Apple store. What do you go to if you need help? You go to the Genius Bar. So we're essentially the Genius Bar for everything tech in the company that I work at. And so we offer that face-to-face support, and it's awesome. People love it. So I'm just glad to, kind of make those connections and deliver that type of support. There's only so much you can share over the phone, right?
Right. And I was going to say that, talking about, like the company I work for now, their big motto is love the customer. And how better to love the customer than taking the show to them whenever they're having problems, right? Yeah, totally awesome. I love that. So let's talk a little bit about you and this award. So on the screen here, we're showing everybody that the award is the 2022 HDI award winner for the best service and support technician. So tell us a little bit about what you know about that award, first of all, and and what it's about.
Yeah, no, as far as I'm aware, it's somebody who kind of meets in the middle, right? Deliver exceptional experience, but also, serves at the highest level. So again, I was surprised to make it as far as I did. But I couldn't be more proud to be recognized in that sense.
So let me tell you, from a national, I've done national judging for these awards and such, and I can tell you, like, just for the audience, we have a lot of chapters throughout the country, 30 to 50 at any given time, right? And I think, Drew, when you were through it, we had about 30 chapters, and each chapter starts the nomination process, and there could be anywhere from one candidate to lots. I mean, I've seen some chapters that they had 20 and 30 candidates for this position, right? So you work your way through the local level, then you go to the district level, and then you go from the district level to the national level. So, Drew, when I say this, I'm serious about this. This is like Top Gun, the best of the best of the best, right? So we call you Maverick or we call you Iceman, whatever it is, right? So, but seriously, it's a really big honor to make it this far because you beat everybody else out in the country. And that doesn't mean, I know when I ask that, it's humble. Like, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of good service and support technicians out there, but to make it as far as you did and to win it says a lot. So let's talk about your, how you got there, right? How did you get there? What did you go through? Let's first of all start with, like, who nominated you?
Yeah. Briefly talked about it in the pre-show. Jill Weber is actually my current manager of our walk-up space at Northwestern for Technology Customer Success Department. And she's the one who also got the company involved in HDI to begin with, brought it to us. And then after, being involved in the process and kind of making it to national, she's like, hey, I'll give you a little peek behind the curtain. And I thought it was really cool the way they did it. Turns out that all the leadership and we put up multiple nominations, let me just say, for multiple categories within our department. But all the leadership, we have about 4 or so that will nominate 2 or 3 individuals that they manage under them for the recognition, and then they all vote anonymously. And so everybody gets to allocate points to who they think, is most deserving. And that's how we all got nominated. So I think we put up for our local chapter, I think it was about 3 or so for the best service and support technician and best service and support specialist, I think were the 2 categories specifically that we nominated a couple people for. So that's how our company did it. And I think that was very awesome.
So let's go back to that, because you said something really important. Like, Jill nominated you, but that didn't get you to the local chapter.
Oh, no.
Right? You said that the other managers or whatever they're called, like, so who voted? When you said they voted, who voted? Did you get to vote for somebody, or was it just the managers?
This was well, first of all, we didn't even know we were being nominated until the decision was already made, and then they announced, hey, these people are being nominated, and then these people have been selected. So they, being managers of our departments, we have omni-channel support. So we have our walk-up space, we have our chat support, and we have our phone technicians, our primary groups. So for each of those have their respective leadership. And then, our upper management as well, assistant directors and whatnot, they all get to kind of put their votes in the hat. And so they all get to, hope that their team gets the recognition that they all deserve, of course.
Yep, absolutely. You're so true. And so why you? What made you stand out? I mean, it's hard for you to talk about this because one thing I know about all HDI award winners is they're very humble and they're like, I don't know why me. I'm just me, right?
Exactly. Yeah, no, I definitely find it hard to talk about myself. Just knowing the other candidates that were put up for the local recognition, I'm like, I'm just as good as the guy next to me, honestly. Me personally, I'm like, I don't know why I was selected, but looking back at it, I think all of my colleagues, the ones that were nominated, and a lot of the other representatives on our team, were in an environment that definitely promotes, customer service, the centric view, and providing that best service at the top level. So I guess I did some things to stand out a little bit more. Which for me is normal and hard to kind of toot my own horn in that sense. But I guess, yeah, just, small side projects and things that, kind of go the extra mile for the customer is, enough to kind of get you recognized and put up for that sort of recognition.
Yeah, and let me tell you, as a hiring manager looking for people that are HDI award winners and being a judge, I know one thing that I personally look for is personality, right? I can teach people how to be technically savvy if they have
True.
if they have that in them, right? Not everybody,
Right.
but it's such a pleasure to find a gem that has the just the way you are. I mean, just talking to you for the short time I've known you, I could tell exactly why you won that. It's your personality.
Well,
You're
thank you.
easy to talk to. You're happy. You smile. You laugh, and you're humble, right? And so a lot of those are big reasons why people like you not only win these awards, but customers love when somebody like Drew comes into their space and walk up and says, "Can I help you?" You don't feel like, "Oh, here comes Mr. Know-It-all, the IT guy that's gonna like boot me out of my seat
Yeah.
and tell me I'm stupid and it was a PIBCAC error or ID10T form." You know, all those cool things that we make fun
Right.
of users for, right? Yeah, no, not it exactly,
No.
right?
Yeah.
So you've won the award, so you can't win it again this year, right?
No, that's fine. I'm ready to give up the throne. No,
Well, but
next
let's
most
talk about
deserving
that.
individual,
So, what
sure.
advice would you give? People either. Let's talk about it this way. People that may be up for that, like advice how to go through that process. Because I would say that I give them advice to win it, but most people that are nominated for this don't go, "Ooh, me," right?
Right, yeah.
So let's talk about going through that process and what you experienced and some advice to give.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it all really circles back to what you said. I makes sense as you said it, right? I'm just kind of connecting the dots. It is personality. It's being genuine, I think is the word that I'm really looking for.
Yes,
You're
that
going
is
to
a
be,
good word to use.
yeah, you're going to be genuine in the service you provide and what you're, enthusiastic and what you love, which if it's customer service, you're in the right spot, right? And mixing that with technology is awesome. It's like you said, not being, Mr. I'm smarter than you. Yeah, give me that. Let me fix your problem. It's delivering that exceptional experience to not make the other individual, feel like they're, less valuable in any sense. Stepping up and doing the extra bit of service, whether it is if you're swapping somebody from a broken machine to a working machine, being like, hey, you know what? I know because in the past experience I went through this. Let me make sure I got your bookmarks for you. Bookmarks are insanely important to a lot of people, and you don't think of it until they're
Oh
gone,
my goodness,
right?
that's it's true. We in where I'm at, we just recently upgraded our remote desktop farm, cluster of servers. And the one thing that my help desk guys, got on with the engineers and said, "I get it, but whatever you do, make sure the bookmarks are there. Make sure the icons are on there for Office." They went, "Well, but all you got to do, yeah, I know. All you have to do is go down to the Windows, click on there, but our customers don't. That's not what's important to them. They want to be able to go click, click, click. So you are so right about that. So,
Definitely the
well,
little
first
things.
of all, congratulations on winning that award, because I can tell you how big of a deal that is. My chapter nominates a lot of people every year, and we've had several that got to the national level, but I think we've only had one that actually won it. So, and that's I think in a very long time. We may have had some in the past, but it is a big deal. It's a big
Thank you.
nomination. It's a big award win to win. It's nice for somebody like you to win it, and hopefully it helps you along your career.
Yeah.
Either there, which I hope, because I know Jill and she'd kill me if I tried to steal you. But hopefully they recognize your talents in not
Oh,
just
yeah.
technical
Definitely. It's been
ability,
awesome.
but customer ability, right? So congratulations on all that. But here's another question I have for you. Like you got into IT in the like around 2019. I mean, you've been doing stuff, but so what advice would you
yeah.
give somebody that's thinking about an IT career? Whether, and don't assume they've gone to college or anything, but just in general, what kind of advice would you give to somebody looking to get into IT or thinking they might like IT?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, like you just said, it's not about college. To be where I'm at today, kind of in total reflection, I happened to get a 4-year degree because I thought that was the right choice. But knowing my colleagues and a lot of them that didn't chase that path and they simply had the interest, and like you said, you can easily teach technical skills, right, to those that are interested and want to learn. So you don't have to go to college and get a 4-year degree by any means. If you're interested, there's a bajillion different avenues. It could be customer support. It could be that higher level, whatever your interest is. So to get into IT, I mean, and again, this is the age of information, right, that we're in right now. There's
So
a
true.
bajillion resources, that are free, available at your fingertips, and it's realistically all in your own hands to educate yourself and to kind of go after what you want. And it's kind of a no bars hold. Like you can really get into whatever you want.
Yeah, that's good advice. You're right. And the thing is, like, I've been saying this for years, since my kids who are now in or just out of college. I said, you were so fortunate, and I mean this sincerely. I'm not being like, I mean sincerely. Like you grew up with technology, so you're very smart at it. Like I was sharing with Drew when we started this humble show. I didn't even know. I knew what Twitch was, but I didn't know what Twitch was about, and I didn't know how to stream on Twitch. And Drew's like, yep, I know how to do that. And my kids, I asked my kids, and I didn't even know they knew how to do that, and they were schooling me on it. So it's great opportunity for people that think they like technology to try. And there's so many different avenues. Over the last 2 years, we've talked about different ones. I mean, Drew's a walk-up, support tech. That is awesome, quite frankly, because you get to deliver happiness and to customers, because you're the guy carrying the wand in your back pocket that fixes things, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. So. Yeah. Well, Drew, we are at the end of the show. Any last parting words for the audience?
No, it's been awesome to be on here. I'm so, thankful to be able to talk about my experience and just be involved, just period. It's been awesome. So thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for being on the show, and hope to maybe see you at a future conference or something like that. And
certainly try.
For those of you guys out there, to get more into HDI local chapters, visit hdilocalchapters.org. Find a chapter near you. We even have virtual chapters if there's not a in-person chapter. Get to meet people like Drew, and really get join this great, awesome network of service and support professionals. I hope to see you again next week. Maddie B will be back hosting the show. We have another great show for you. So we'll see you all again next week. Thank you, Drew.
Bye, everybody.